Well, guys, there's no better way for me to start this episode of the Miss Topsy Show by saying thank you, John Cena. Thank you, John Cena, for everything you've done and for everything that you have given us in your entire WWE career. You are the greatest of all time. You are my hero. Let's just get right into this. But first, make sure you guys like, share, subscribe to the Hardcore Sports Network for more wrestling content in the year 2026. We got big wrestling shows coming. We got watch-alongs coming. We got great guests coming. Make sure you guys stay tapped in and hit that notification bell. You will never disappoint. So, let's get into why I'm making this video. John Cena retired. He had his last match against Gunther at Saturday Night's Main Event in Washington, D.C., and he did something that this entire WWE universe, this entire world, thought he would never do. And that was tap out. First he smiled, then he tapped out. One of the most controversial endings to a match in the WWE history. Something that I thought I would never get behind, and I am never getting behind the way that ended. But John Cena is my hero. John Cena is a guy that I can look up to about never giving up, to a guy who was getting knocked down with all his injuries to get back up, stronger than ever. John Cena was my version of a superhero. I was not really big into like Superman's, Batman, Spider-Man, Iron Man back in that time. I was mostly into sports. I was mostly into Philadelphia sports. Sixers, Phillies, Flyers, Eagles, whatever you want to say. They were more my heroes, like Allen Iverson, Donovan McNabb, just to name a few. But John Cena just hit it differently for me. This guy just did everything he could, and he earned my respect. Hustle, loyalty, respect. The words that he lived by forever. It's the words I live by forever. Never give up. Those are the words I live by now. Yeah. John Cena is my hero, and he will always be my hero. I'm a Make-A-Wish kid. I was a kid that wished to meet John Cena, and I got that opportunity. I was so ecstatic. I met him in Madison Square Garden, and that is the moment I will never forget. I will never forget that. If you guys want to hear more about that in detail, drop a like, leave me a comment, and I will make a video on that in an episode of the Miss Toxie Show. Make sure you guys do that. It's it's emotional. That story is emotional. But yeah, I'm a Make-A-Wish kid. I am one of the wishes that John Cena has granted. He has the most wishes granted out of everybody. Not just in WWE. Everybody in the world. By like a large margin. And that is just incredible. Him making time for us. Him taking our questions. Signing autographs. You get it. John Cena is incredible for that. Now, let's get into the beginning of the retirement tour. In late 2024, John Cena announced that 2025 was going to be his last full year of wrestling. In the end of 2025, he would never wrestle again, and that's what happened against Gunther. He lost, he would never wrestle again. But let's talk about this year more in a general term. Not like specifics, not like this match, that promo, etc. I was just soaking everything in. Because once he announced that he was going to retire, I was on a live stream. And I turned my camera off, I walked away from my setup, and I just broke, man. I just broke. It took me a half hour to get back, but at that moment, I knew that I was not going to critique it. I was not going to make many videos on it. I was not going to defend something. I was not going to critique something as big. And I'm glad I did that. I soaked everything in, and I loved it. I loved his retirement tour. I don't care what anyone says. Everyone said it's failed. The heel turn was terrible. The heel run was terrible. I don't give a damn. My GOAT wrestled for the entire year. I saw every single match. I saw do what he does best. And that was wrestle and put on a great show. John Cena was not the best wrestler out there. He was damn good on the mic. And we got to see that on his retirement tour. Especially his pipe bomb against CM Punk. His own version of the pipe bomb. You had great matches as well. But I'm just glad I got to see him one final time. One final time in the wrestling ring. Now, I know I get to see him in TV shows. I get to see him in movies. I get to see him on guest appearances on shows. I get to see him everywhere. But it hits differently that he's not going to wrestle again. It hit differently, and it always will hit differently for me. That is something I'm going to have to accept and move on. I am a part of that now. Like, I am pretty much accepting it, ready to move on, but I will never forget him. John Cena said people will forget him by the Royal Rumble. I will hell not. I will not. I will not forget him. I will not. He's my hero, and I never will forget him. Let's get into the Saturday night's main event as a whole. Let's talk about the show first in general. Because John Cena didn't want the whole show to be about him. He wanted the show to be about the younger guys going up against the main talent roster, or the main roster, and show the world what they can do. And we saw Obafemi, we saw Ruka, we saw Leon Slater, etc. We got to see these young guys showcase the world what they can do. And yeah, it's just incredible. And here's another thing too, not a lot of people are talking about. When you see a guy like AJ Styles in there, right? When you see him wrestling these young guys and going at a pace that AJ Styles is doing, and he had matches with John Cena in his career, that's just like, he has a piece of John Cena that will live on forever. And it's just something I will always respect out of AJ Styles. Like, AJ Styles is one of the best wrestlers I have ever seen. But the fact that we got to see him wrestle John Cena this year, and we got to see him wrestle on Saturday night's main event, that is something that we're all going to love. That is something we're all going to love. And thank you, AJ. I just got to throw that out there. Not a lot of people are talking about that, and I have to give him acknowledgement. Yes, I acknowledge AJ Styles. So, let's get into the match and that controversial ending. So, Gunther comes out to a sea of boos like we all expected, right? We all expected Gunther to get out there to a roar of boos. And once John Cena was about to come out, Gunther rolled out to the side of the ring and gave the ring to John Cena. John Cena had this whole entrance to himself. Nobody was going to interfere. Nobody. And there's something special about his entrance this time. When he comes out, you hear "Let's Go Cena," you hear the cheers, you hear the crowd, you see Stu the cameraman, you see Cena take Stu's camera and film him. You get to see all that, but you do not hear Cena sucks. You don't hear that at all. And wow, that's just so much respect. So much respect. Cena gave those haters so much respect throughout his career, and now you get to see the fans give him respect by not saying Cena sucks. So, the entire match was not bad. It was actually good in my opinion. You got to see John Cena call out to Gunther what to do next and whatever. Like, that to me was just, I'm not going to nitpick. That's just how John Cena communicates, so I'm okay with that. And then you have the double AA. Super AA off the top rope. You have Gunther smile. There was a Gunther smile in there. He's just happy to be in the same ring as John Cena. Now, I thought my opinion, it should not have been Gunther. There's so many people that deserved that opportunity, who needed that spotlight. I'll make a video on that if you guys wanted it. But for me, it's just like that ending kind of put the nail in the coffin. Because John Cena, he only tapped out 4 times in his career. Y2J, Chris Jericho, 2 times to Kurt Angle, and Chris Benoit. That was it. That was it. And then he tapped out to Gunther 5 times. The tap out thing was such a cop out. It was such a cop out. I don't know if it was Cena's call or whatever. I don't agree with that call if it was. But it's just like, why not just have him pass out? Why not just have him pass out? Like he didn't tap. Gunther's story was trying to make John Cena tap out. And he did. Gunther did. But that was not the right way to go about it. You have these other wrestlers go out on not tapping out. Them winning as champions and go out. Shout out to Sting. There was plenty of other ways for Cena to go out. You did not need to tap. You did not need to tap. He smiled. It was so anticlimactic, dude. It was so anticlimactic. Like how that ended. Imagine this, right? Imagine Cena hitting Gunther with 2 more AAs. Attitude Adjustments, his finishers, if you guys didn't know that, who's ever watching this. That we actually got Super Cena. And Cena gets the victory. Cena gets the victory. Gunther rolls out to the side. You have Cena celebrating. You have the crowd cheating. Or not cheating. You have the crowd cheering. You have the roar of the crowd. You have the main roster come up. You have the legends come out. Like you have the Kurt Angle. You have the Mark Henrys. I think Mick Foley was there. You have Michelle McCool. You had Eve Torres. You had Trish Stratus. You had Kevin Owens there, who can't wrestle anymore. Have them come out to have John Cena on their shoulders. Have John Cena give an emotional speech. Then walk off. Then salute to the crowd. Then go in there, into their locker room. That is the way they should have done it. That is the way. Now, what is the last thing you would think of John Cena in the ring? And I am not mad at the crowd. That crowd went off. They were booing Triple H as many times as they could. When Cena was lifting up the titles, and when Triple H was there, they booed Triple H. Like, that's not my call, man. I'd rather have him win or pass out or even get pinned. Pass out would have been the best. Then win would have been second if I had to rank. But that's enough of me critiquing it. I enjoyed John Cena's retirement tour. I enjoyed every single bit of it. Because I get to see my GOAT wrestle for the last time. Let me know how you guys feel in the comment section below. I felt like I got a lot of this stuff out of my chest. John Cena, thank you again. You're my hero. You'll always be my superhero. Thank you so much. I actually have this headband, actually. I have his headband right here that he actually wears on his arm. This goes on his arm, guys. And you know what? Chain Gang headband, it fits on my head. It fits on my head, dude. Like, I'm never getting rid of this. I got so many autographed shirts. I have the Chain Gang necklace or whatever. I got so much material. I'm getting more. So, John Cena, thank you so much. Love you, man. Can't wait to see what's in store for you next. No matter if it's a movie, TV show, you're hosting an award show. I don't care what it is. But no longer in the WWE. No longer wrestling. He may be a coach. He may be a trainer. He may help the young guys in the back. He may even cut promos. We don't know. But we know one thing is that he's gonna not wrestle again. Let me know in the comment section below about John Cena's farewell tour, his last match, who do you think it should have been, so on and so forth. Thank you, Cena.